Fox News alert. We just got our hands on Joe Biden's brother's deposition, and it is even more preposterous than Hunter's. And that's a high bar. As we reported last night, not only did Hunter admit his dad is the big guy, but he says Joe was stopping by his business meetings that he called birthday parties to eat bowls of spaghetti with his clients. Now, Hunter doesn't call them clients. He told congressional investigators they're really his friends. Hunter's friends with Russians living in Moscow and the effing spy chief of China. His words, not mine. What kind of business are you in when your dad keeps showing up at your business meetings, though? My dad doesn't pop into my editorial meetings at Fox and say hi to my producers. When you take your clients out to lunch, does your dad stop by for spaghetti? Hunter says when he's with his business partners and his dad happens to call, he puts them on speaker. I've never done that, probably because my dad's not famous, but let's say my dad was Biden. The reason I'm putting my dad on the phone is to impress my partners and show them what kind of easy access they can get to dad. Biden doesn't know his cameo or his phone calls are the main course of the business dinner. When all of these business dinners are with foreigners and you're the VP, and after the dinners and phone calls, your son takes the clients to visit the White House dozens of times, and you fly your son around to 15 foreign countries and talk to him on the phone every day, that's not a normal father-son relationship. That's a father and son who are in business together. And we're learning from Jim Biden's deposition, when his father wasn't around, Hunter brought his uncle. Jim Biden says Hunter took him to Hong Kong, but it wasn't a business trip. He was there to keep his nephew company. But when Hunter introduced him to Patrick Ho, you know, the effing spy chief of China, Jim Biden says his spidey sense went off. The president's brother, Jimmy, had lunch in Hong Kong with the effing spy chief of China and said they didn't discuss business. At one point during the lunch, Ho borrowed Hunter to go to the next room and talk for a half an hour. And Jim Biden just hung out on the veranda by himself. Totally normal. The vice president flies his son to Beijing. He comes home with millions. And then the vice president's brother and son are in Hong Kong with the spy chief of China. And then Patrick Ho gets arrested, and the one phone call he makes from jail is to Jim Biden. Just a guy he had lunch with once in Hong Kong. And the FBI has Ho's phone wiretapped and knows exactly what the Bidens are doing. And the Bidens are doing a lot for China. A top Chinese communist wants to move into Manhattan, so Uncle Jim gets them set up with an apartment and whisks them around town like a tour guide. Jim says he did it out of the kindness of his heart. This is a 74-year-old man with nothing else to do except make the Chinese feel welcomed in New York. Why is he rolling out the red carpet for the Chi-Coms? Because he says the guy was the protege of President Xi. The vice president's brother meets the next in line to the Chinese Communist Party chair and says, hop in an Uber, let me show you Times Square. The Chinese are America's #1 enemy, and the Biden family referring them to their realtor and taking them to brunch. But there was a lot more than just the wining and dining. The gifts were quite plentiful. As we told you last night, Hunter told investigators the diamond the Chinese gave him wasn't a gift, it was a trade. Hunter said he gave him an $80,000 bottle of scotch. He had no receipt, but like Fanny said, take my word for it. Now, why'd the Chinese give Hunter diamonds? He says that was a part of the business culture in China. Okay, well, Jim remembered it a little differently. Jim says Hunter was given a diamond at his daughter's school. A parent came over to him on campus and handed Hunter a diamond and said, we'd like to do business with you in the Chinese. Imagine dropping off your child at school in Washington and a random parent approaches you in the parking lot, slips you a diamond and says, let's do business in Beijing. If this were me, I'd say, honey, I'll be picking up Jesse Jr. from school going forward. You rest. Now, Hunter allegedly asked Jim to have the diamond appraised. And Jim said it was worth only a couple $100, so he threw it away. But it wasn't a couple $100. On Hunter Biden's laptop, there's a photo of the appraisal slip. It's over 3 carats, VS2 clarity, F color, the highest quality. The rock's tens of thousands of dollars. A jeweler looks at that appraisal, he's not tossing it in the trash. So President Biden's brother's dining in Hong Kong, doing diamond appraisals and chauffeuring around President Xi's protege. What does he even do for a living? It's a great question. The president doesn't even know what he does for a living. That's what Jim told investigators. My brother has no idea what I do because I don't talk about business to my brother. I don't ask him advice in terms of business because I just don't. It is a line, a red line drawn in the sand. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, who's 80 years old, has no idea what his brother's job is. He could be a dentist. He could be a taxidermist, a massage therapist. Hey, Jim, happy Thanksgiving. What are you up to these days? Sorry, Joe. Can't tell you. Red line. Okay, let's go watch the Redskins. So if Peter Doocy asks the president, what does your brother do for a living? He won't know. The president of the United States doesn't know what his brother or his son does for a living. That's what they're telling you. Investigators asked him, how do you live in such a nice home if all you do is get paid by your nephew for advice? You've owned property in Florida, the Virgin Islands, Pennsylvania. He lives in a beautiful property now in Maryland. Jim said he sold a stake in a South American gas company in a deal with Carlos Slim, the Mexican billionaire. Jim says he's friends with Slim. So how do you get a position in the company? Sweat equity, he says. Same answer as Fannie Willis. Now, when investigators asked Jim, can you name any deals that the Bidens seeded or developed themselves? He couldn't name a single deal. Jim says their relationship was seeded, which kind of means countries give the Biden things for free so they can have a relationship. That explains why all the Bidens ever did was go to lunches, dinners, and meetings and leave with cars, cash, and diamonds. What's a little money between friends? Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.